complete self-creation and evolution. And that is really what it's all about. It's Monday, you guys. I just realized, I don't know where my tripod is, but we are food prepping. We just got back from a weekend in Miami. Tons of projects, tons of cool things, tons of work. Bree, play the little bit that we recorded. We did a podcast, Ralph did a podcast, and we've been go this morning. I taught a class like you guys saw, and now I am prepping all this food. We have pasta, we have chicken. I'm about to make ground beef. We have some yuca going over here, and also have some rice over here. Trying to situate for the day. Still got a lot to do, but I am trying to get myself organized so that I can go on with the day. It's already 1:45. I'm only one meal in. I am trying to chug water over here and do all the things. And we got another crazy busy week ahead. We are 89 days away from Wbff Atlantic City. This week is crazy. We have a big event this weekend, a concert in Miami that we are a part of. I'm excited to bring you guys along because even though you are prepping and even though you have goals, life doesn't stop for any of us and life keeps going and we're all busy. So everything has to happen simultaneously. That's one of the big reasons why I want to do this vlog and why I want to share everything with you guys so I can show you how everything can and does coexist. Good, now the fly. Bring it up, open up. Yes. 1, perfect. 8, 2 more. Good morning, happy Wednesday. It's 8:20 a.m. and I am food prepping. I just finished a session like 20 minutes ago. I had a session at 7:30 this morning. And then I have a 10 a.m. class that I teach here in the community. And then I have a 12 p.m. hair appointment. So I have a lot of things, a lot of moving parts. Some days my schedule is like a lot lighter than others and I get to kind of like take my time. But then some days I'm like, okay, when there are more moving parts, the key there is intention. So I have to make sure that I'm prepared for everything today. This is actually Ralph's food that I'm prepping. I'm gonna prep my food next. I'm gonna go on a walk. I'm gonna teach that class. I'm gonna take my food with me, and then after my hair appointment is when I'm gonna do my workout. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly what all of that looks like. And by the way, if you're not familiar with G. Hughes sugar-free sauces, he's got a ton. We love the teriyaki, we love the sweet chili, and if you see, there are 5 calories. 5 calories. The barbecue is amazing. Some of them are actually not low in calories, but most of them are. These are amazing. Look at our banana tree. How cute. All right, it's 9:15 a.m. I've done all the things already. I'm on a walk. So let's recap. 7:30 session, food prep for Ralph, and then I baked fresh protein donuts for myself so that I'm prepared, and then I made Ralph's breakfast, got myself together a little bit, and now I am going on a walk before my class. So it's 9:20, my class is at 10, so I have a few minutes here to get this walk going. Luckily my class is here, so I don't really have to go anywhere or drive anywhere. You know, I was thinking as I was preparing the food and preparing the donuts and thinking like, okay, I'm gonna make my breakfast, I'm gonna take donuts, I'm gonna take my shake. I was thinking about all of the different things that I hear all the time from people as to why they can't or why they don't. And I always find it interesting because even as someone who has been in many phases where I feel like I can't or where I decide not to and I don't. Anytime that I am in this place where I'm prepping and I'm on and I'm doing all the things, which always feels great. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain from showing up for yourself. But one of the things that I always think about is, everyone thinks that it's so hard. Everyone thinks that it requires so much time, so much effort, so many changes. And for the most part, because like Ralph always says, the answer to most things is it depends. But for the most part, all it really takes is two things: intention and consistency. That's all. Everyone always thinks it's going to take over their life. It's going to take over their schedule. They're never going to be able to have foods that they enjoy again, and they don't have time, and whatever. And, at least not the way we do it, but it just doesn't require that, because what I was doing this morning, or the only difference between what I was doing then and what maybe I wasn't at another time, or what somebody else isn't, is I thought about my day. I was like, okay, like, what does today look like? What does my schedule look like? And again, just like most of you guys, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, right? I'm a business owner. Like, I have a million things going on. But the same way that I start my day and I think about a lot of things, like, okay, like, what's going to be the schedule for the kids? Like, we homeschool, right? We homeschool, we work, we have a million different projects going on, and I still have to start my day and say, okay, I gotta make the schedule for the kids for today. Do we have food for everybody for today? Is it cooked? Is it in the fridge? What sessions do I have? What work do I need to get done? What time am I gonna get my walk in? What time am I gonna get my workout in? Because ultimately, that's all it is. That's the only difference, is that I started my day with intention. And the thing is that all of you do too. Everybody, especially moms, start their day with like, okay, do they have the lunches? What's the after school thing? What's the sport? What's the this? What's the that? There's a million moving parts. The problem is that they don't put themselves in that equation. You think about everything and everybody else, what needs to get done for work, what needs to get done for your kids, what needs to get done for the house, what needs to get paid, what errand needs to be ran, whatever. But very rarely does someone factor in, what am I gonna eat? When am I gonna eat? When am I gonna train? Right? Like, what are the things that I need to do for me inside of everything else, not instead of everything else? Also, how do I plan for everything and everyone and myself? A day like today, where I have to sit in, let's say, to do my hair for 3 hours, first world problems, right? Love doing it. But a day like today, or a day like any day where there's more errands or where there's more moving parts than others, all it requires is just making sure that you're organized and that you have intention with your day to ensure that everything gets done. Because we say it all the time to everybody that we coach or everybody that we speak to. Life doesn't stop happening just because you have goals, just because you want to transform, just because you want to step on stage, just because you want to lose 10, 15, 20 pounds. Life isn't going to be like, all right, I'm going to give you a break. I'm going to let you do everything you need to do in peace with zero interruptions, with zero hurdles, so you can achieve your goal. Then we'll get back to life. No, life continues to life for all of us. It doesn't stop. For example, this weekend we have a concert. We're going to Miami. The schedule's going to be different, right? It's like there's always stuff. And it isn't that your life has to stop in order for you to get results. Is that you need to figure out how to have intention and consistency inside of everything that's going on in life. Now, with that said, there are certainly periods of life where life is lifing harder than others. There are certainly periods of life where we are able to do more than other times. I mean, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, but mostly because sometimes there are things that take other priorities, or there are other priorities that take up more time or more bandwidth. That's okay too. And in those moments, you have grace with yourself and you're aware that that's the thing that's going to take up the most space right now, but you still don't want to disregard yourself. And you still want to make sure that you know that the time is never perfect. And then that ultimately what we're doing, especially as women, especially as moms, is playing this insanely intricate game of chess and Tetris to fit it all in, to get it all going, to make that puzzle fit the best way we can. We do the best we can with what we got on any given day. But back to the beginning, if we have enough intention, meaning we're paying attention, we are thinking ahead, we're not just on autopilot, we are not automatically disregarding ourselves. If we have enough intention with our day and with the things that we got going on, and we're consistent with that intention, sky's the limit. You'd be shocked at just how much you can do if you just tweak those two things. And then, just so I don't generalize too much and give you some tangibles, because I always feel, and I always say, that we are always one perspective shift away from a completely different experience. And I think that That's all life is, just this one giant human experience. And the experience we're having obviously depends on the thoughts we're having and all the things around us, because how we choose to perceive them is what we're experiencing. But a lot of times it's as simple as a perspective shift in order to have a different experience. And when you have a different experience and you shift your perspective, you can take a different approach, and it's a whole other reality. So, but not to get too deep into that, in an effort to give you something tangible on how to have intention, right? So do you need to wake up a little bit earlier to plan or to set aside the things you need to set aside for your day? Do you need to maybe tweak some things in the schedule? Go to bed a little bit later? Do you need to get a walking pad? Like right now, this walking time is going to be where not only am I going to make this video, which is part of my work, right? But also I'm gonna respond to my clients, and I'm gonna do a post, and I'm gonna make a couple calls, right? But I'm doing it while I'm in motion. I'm doing it while I am getting my walk in. And I know that not everybody has, that luxury of having the ability to create their own schedule. Maybe you got to sit somewhere from 9 to 5, and that's okay too. But what are you doing before 9 and what are you doing after 5, right? And again, we're all busy, but it's one of those, like, do you get a walking pad? Do you take 5-10 minute walks throughout the day? They add up. Did you pack your food? Did you pack your water? Do you plan on days where you have less going on to do a little bit more, right? Because every day is different for all of us. Even though every day is busy, there are certainly days where we can squeeze in things differently. So it's about getting creative, but you can only do that. You can only find your pockets and play your Tetris if it actually matters, right? If there's intention, and there can only be intention if you stop and you don't go on autopilot and you think about what you want, and you figure out how you're gonna make sure that all of that fits in and how you're gonna create all of that. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I am gonna wrap up this walk in a few minutes, gonna answer some clients, gonna get that class going, and gonna continue to bring you guys along. Again, that's why I also been wanting to do these vlogs like for the whole week, like pieces of every day or a few days out of the week, because every day is different. I need to tan, I need to pose, like there's a lot of things that I need to do for my prep that I'm fitting in inside a busy life, and again, some days busier than others. I'm gonna take advantage of these steps. I got 30 minutes.
If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and I could take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop for life. Glitter in the sky, glitter in my eyes, shining just the way you like. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of company.
Welcome everybody to Lais and the Coach, and today we have one that is local to us. And what we want to know today is how they got started, what they're doing, what their take on fitness is.
I think it's a good point to make, because I believe, obviously, as a coach, just like you, that who you hire and who you choose to put in your corner for any process, you have to have the right person for you. Happy Friday, you guys. I am getting a ton of work done. I taught a class this morning like you guys saw, and then Ralph took Junior to jiu-jitsu and to get a haircut. So I figured, since I'm not really fully starting my day yet, I would get some stuff done. I have this project that I've been working on for a long time, I have things that I want to organize, and it's a busy weekend ahead, you guys. We are heading to Miami tomorrow. It's exciting times. It's also always crazy when you have things like that take up like your whole day and require travel, and you're doing all the prep things. One of the things that Ralph and I were talking about yesterday that he made me realize is, which is another super important part of present coaching. I know that, he's also my husband, so he's very present and involved in everything that I do, but a lot of our conversations when it comes to the prep is about the coaching. So present coaching, he was saying how we only have a finite amount of bandwidth, right? Energy. And so sometimes certain things feel so much more exhausting than they actually are, or it feels like it pulls so much more, or it feels so hard to get to. And it isn't necessarily because the thing is hard to get to, it's more because of where you're at. I'm a list person, so I have a lot of to-do lists, to-day lists, all the things. And sometimes between all the things that I got going on, like all of you, a lot of things fall through the cracks or stay in the back of my mind. I didn't do this yet, I didn't do that yet. Okay, but I gotta go make this food. Okay, but I gotta go work out. Okay, I gotta go get this work done. And it's these like little things that are like little noises, that are little tasks. Anything from, I gotta go return something from Amazon, you know, I gotta take back this router to Spectrum, to I need to finish this project. And it's little things, like it's not the everyday things, but they're things that are kind of like meddling in the back of your head. And they are energy leaks. They are leaks that need to be patched, holes that need to be patched. And we were talking about that, and there are days when some of the things that I need to do feel so draining, or I'm so tired so early. And it's one of those things where it's like, if you stop for a second, which most of us don't, myself included, you could probably realize that you have some energy leaks. And energy leaks could be anything from the way that you're doing your schedule, to the people that you have in your life, to the expectation of how many things you're thinking you're gonna get done versus the reality of what's actually happening, how much time you have. Like, it's gonna be different for everybody, but I'm definitely in a place where the energy leak is the amount of little noises are in the back of my head of things that I haven't really finished. I need to order this merch, and I need to do this, and I need to plan for that, and I need to make a reservation for 3 weeks from now. We have an event, right? It's like we all have a million things going on. And I think for me, it's a two-part thing. Part one is always organizing myself so that I have it all down and it's not all just kind of like, you know, in my head. But then part two is like, how am I gonna tackle that? Like, tackle one thing a day, right? One thing extra from the millions of things that are already on the docket, right? I got kids, I got businesses, I gotta eat, I gotta train. I wanna make sure that I'm recording. There's a lot going on, but those little noises have been certainly energy leaks for me. And we were talking about that last night. And so today, for these first couple of hours of the day, my goal is to make sure that I patch some of those up, that I get rid of some of those noises so that I can carry on with everything that I'm doing with more energy and with more bandwidth. It's almost like clearing space on your phone, you know, you make some room so that you have room for it to run faster and better, and for other things. And so that's definitely been something to pay attention to, and maybe it could help you guys. We are officially 12 weeks out. Today is Friday, September 19th. We are 12 weeks out from Wbff Atlantic City. Shit is getting real. And you know, a prep is, we always say your prep starts the moment you decide you're doing a show. So I decided I was doing the show, I think like at 18 weeks out or something like that, or 20 weeks out. I don't even remember at this point. But that's when the prep starts, right? That's when your process starts. It's a layering process. There's a lot of moving parts, all of that. But 12 weeks out to me always feels like the beginning of the prep, like, cause it's like a full prep. And I'm excited to get to this point and to be where I'm at this point. I feel really good at 12 weeks out and ready to kick things into gear a lot more than I've been able to. Again, I've done great, but I know that I have so much more in me. And I think that that's one of the main goals for myself during this prep. It's, I can't just show up. I don't want to just show up in shape. Like, for me, it needs to be like, holy shit, what the fuck, right? Because again, it's show number 11 and I've been away from the stage for a while, and just showing up for me this go around isn't gonna cut it. I need to show out in a lot of ways. And so the next 12 weeks are gonna reflect the kind of experience that I wanna have in this process, and also the kind of work that I wanna showcase when we get to that moment. So I'm excited. And that's it. And I'm gonna bring you guys along, and I am gonna bring you guys along this weekend because it's gonna be so, so, so cool. And yeah, let's go.